Hey folks, welcome to Personal Finverse, a channel built on one belief that the most important things about money are not complicated, they are just untaught. Every video here is honest, evidence based, and built for the person who wants to finally understand money properly. Let's get started. I want to ask you something, and I want you to actually think about it, not just scroll past it, because your answer is going to reveal something important about how your brain is wired around money. You have two choices. Choice 1, I hand you $1 million right now today, cash. Choice 2, I give you a single penny, 1 cent, but I promise to double it every single day for 30 days. Which do you choose? Take a second, really think. Most people choose the million. It is tangible. It is certain. It feels safe, and honestly, $1 million is a lot of money. Choosing the penny feels like a trick. But here is what actually happens to that penny. Day 1, 1 cent, day 2, 2 cents, day 5, 16 cents, day 10, still only $5.12. Halfway through day 15, you have $163. At this point, you are looking at your penny and thinking you made a terrible mistake. Then something changes. Day 20, $5,243. Day 25, $16,079. You read that right. One penny doubled daily for 30 days becomes over $5 million, and the force behind that number, the mechanism that turned 1 cent into 5 million, has a name. It is called compound interest, and it is working in the financial world around you right now. Every single day, whether you understand it or not. Today, you are going to understand it with real numbers in a way that actually changes how you think about time. Now, before we go any further, I want to be clear about something. Compound interest is not a trick. It is not a get rich scheme. It is not the kind of thing that only works in thought experiments with magic pennies. It is a mathematical principle as real and reliable as gravity. And like gravity, it applies to your money whether you have chosen to pay attention to it or not. By the end of this video, you will not just understand what it is, you will feel it, and feeling it truly in your gut is what actually changes what you do next. Let us start at the very beginning, because the difference between simple interest and compound interest is the difference between a pond and an ocean. Imagine you put $10,000 into an account that pays 8% simple interest per year. What does simple interest mean? It means you earn 8% of your original $10,000 every year. That is $800 per year. Every year, the same $800 after 10 years, $18,000. You doubled your money. That is not nothing. After 30 years, $34,000. Now imagine the same $10,000 in an account that pays 8% compound interest per year. Compound interest means something different. It means you earn 8% not just on your original $10,000, but on everything you have accumulated, including last year's interest. Year 1, you earn $800, same as before. You now have $10,800, not $10,000. That is $864. You now have $11,064, 933. You now have $12,000. Does not sound dramatic yet. And this is the part that trips people up. The beginning of compounding is quiet, deceptively quiet. But watch what happens over time. After 10 years with compound interest, $21,015.89. After 20 years, $46,610. After 30 years, $100,060.27. Same $10,000, same 8%, same 30 years. Simple interest, $34,000. Compound interest, $100,627. The difference, $66,627 extra money, came entirely from one thing: the interest earning interest, your money making money from the money it already made. Growth upon growth upon growth, that is compounding. Now let us make this personal, because abstract numbers on a chart are one thing, but seeing what your money specifically can become, that is something else entirely. Let us take a common starting point. You are 25 years old, you invest $5,000 once, you put it into a broad market index fund, the kind that historically returns around 8 to 10% per year. On average, you never add another rupee or dollar, you never touch it, you just let it sit. At 8% compound growth, here is what happens. Age 35, 10 years later, your $5,000 has become $10,795. You have not quite doubled, it still feels slow. Age 45, 20 years later, $23,005, you have grown it nearly 5 times. Now it is starting to feel real. Age 55, 3 13 ages. 65, 40 years later, $108.1623 Nilrod, one investment of $5,000 made at 25 and never touched, becomes over $100,000 by retirement. But here is where it gets emotional. What if you wait? What if you tell yourself, I will start when I earn more? And you wait 10 years, you invest the same $5,000 at age 35 by 65, you have 40, 16, 16, 10 lent, same money, same rate, 10 fewer years. That one decade of waiting cost you $62,000. Those 10 years when you were young and the money felt small were actually the most valuable years of all, because that is when compounding had the longest runway. Every year you wait does not just cost you 1 year of growth, it costs you all the compounding that year's growth would have generated for decades. It is not subtraction, it is multiplication in reverse. I want to tell you about three people. They are not real, but their numbers are: Sarah starts investing $200 a month at age 22. She does this consistently for just 10 years until age 32. Then she stops completely. She never invests another cent. She just lets what she has accumulated sit and compound. James starts at 32, right when Sarah stops. He invests the same $200 a month, but unlike Sarah, he never stops. He keeps going for 30 years all the way to age 62. Maria starts at 42, same $200 a month. She invests for 20 years until she is 62 at 62. Here is where they stand. Maria, 20 years of investing, $48,000 total invested, $43,000 total invested, $43,000 total in $33,000 total. And Sarah, only 10 years of investing, $24,000 total invested, 33 times longer than Sarah, and put in 3 times as much money. He still has $95,000 less. This is not magic, this is not a mistake in the numbers. This is compound interest doing something that feels almost unfair until you understand it, rewarding time above everything else. Sarah's early years, those first 10 years starting at 22, were so powerful because they gave her money the longest possible runway to compound. By the time she stopped, her money had already developed momentum that James could never fully catch up to, no matter how long he ran. Time is the single ingredient in compound interest that money cannot buy back. You can always earn more money, you can never earn more time. If this is shifting how you think about your money and your age, that is exactly the point. This channel is built to give you these moments of genuine clarity every single day. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. And now let us talk about a shortcut that will serve you for the rest of your life. Here is a mental tool that every person who understands money carries in their back pocket. It is called the Rule of 72, and it tells you instantly, without a calculator, how long it takes to double your money at any given interest rate. The rule is simple: divide 72 by your annual interest rate, and that is roughly how many years it takes to double. So, at 8% per year, 72 divided by 8 equals 9. Your money doubles roughly every 9 years. At 6%, 72 divided by 6 equals 12. Doubles every 12 years. At 12%, doubles every 6 years. Now, watch what this means in practice. If you're 25 and you invest $10,000 at 8%, it doubles to 20,000 by age 34. Doubles again to $40,000 by 43. Doubles again to 80,000 by 52, and once more to 160,000 by 61, four doublings. Starting from one investment, no extra money added. Now apply this backwards to the years you have already waited. Every decade you waited to start is a doubling you did not get at 8%. That is $10,000 that could have been $20,000 or $40,000 or $80,000. The loss does not feel like a loss because you never had the higher number. But mathematically, it existed and it slipped by. The rule of 72 is not just a calculator shortcut, it is a way of seeing time differently, as a series of doublings waiting to happen, each one requiring only patience. Before we close, there is something important I need to say. Because this channel is built on honesty and compound interest has two sides. Everything we have talked about today describes compound interest working for you on savings and investments. That is the beautiful side. But compound interest works just as powerfully against you when it comes to debt. A credit card charging 24% interest, apply the rule of 72. Your debt doubles in 3 years, not through extra spending, just through interest. If you carry $5,000 on a credit card and make only minimum payments, compound interest turns that into $10,000 of debt, then $20. The same force that builds wealth silently, systematically destroys it when it runs in the wrong direction. This is why yesterday's video about paying yourself first connects so directly to today's. The goal is to have compound interest working for you in as many places as possible and against you in as few places as possible. The math is the same, the direction is everything. I want to come back to that penny for a moment. The reason the penny puzzle surprises almost everyone is not because people are bad at math, it is because our brains were not built to feel exponential growth. We experience time linearly one day after another, one month after another, but compound interest does not grow linearly, it grows slowly, then suddenly, then spectacularly. Those first years of the penny, 1 cent, 2 cent, 4 cents, feel like nothing, like they barely matter, like it would take a lifetime to reach something meaningful. That is how the beginning of your investing journey is going to feel too. The first year you invest, the numbers will feel small, underwhelming. You will wonder if it is even worth it. And the honest answer is those early years are the most worth it of all. They are the years the doubling clock starts. They are the years that compound into decades of growth. The penny did not become $5 million on day 30. It became $5 million because of what happened on days 1 through 29. All those invisible, quiet, seemingly irrelevant doublings that nobody noticed until it was impossible to ignore. Your money works the same way. The question is not whether compound interest is powerful, that is settled. The question is only when you choose to let it start working for you. Yesterday we talked about paying yourself first. Today you understand what happens to that money once you do. Tomorrow we go deeper into exactly where to put it start today, even if it is small, especially if it is small. The penny does not care how humble it looks at the beginning. See you tomorrow.